Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So we are doing a makeup look today and we're gonna use a bunch of new products. So I did a little shopping at Nordstrom recently, picked up some new things and I'm gonna test them out with you guys today. I have not used really a lot of these yet, so we're gonna put them to the test together. But what I am mainly using today is this new Charlotte Tilbury palette. It's her Instant Look in a Palette. 5-minute Face on the Go Beauty Glow palette, and I am so excited to be wearing this with you guys today and using this with you guys today because it is so insanely gorgeous. You got your whole face palette in here. You got your eyes, your bronzer, your cheek, your highlight, the whole shebang is in this palette. So of course that is what I'm wearing today right now because I always film the intro last. So we are using this palette today along with a bunch of other new products. So I'm just gonna stop rambling. If you wanna see how I got this look with some really good products that you must see, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's get to playing with some new makeup here. I'm gonna use this new foundation. Actually, I don't even know if this is a new foundation. Is it? It's the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation. It's a mattifying, oil-free foundation. I'm not sure if this is new or if they just changed the packaging. I have no clue, but it says new on the Nordstrom website. So I am just gonna go with it being new. So I'm gonna use this today because I actually have never used an Hourglass foundation. I don't think ever. So this will be my first try. And it's a mattifying, oil-free, so maybe it'll be good for the summer. So let's test it out. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. Now I'm not gonna use a primer today because when I'm testing out a foundation, I like to go primer free because things can always get better with the primer. So I always test foundations out with no primer first, just so I can get a good feel for what they look like on my skin and then you can adjust from there. So let's just test this out. It comes in a little squeezy tube like this. What I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna apply this with the Beauty Blender because I don't want it to be too heavy on my skin. Sometimes mattifying foundations can be just a little bit heavy or a little bit drying too. So I'm gonna kind of shear it out and give it a little bit of hydration more with the Beauty Blender. And my eyebrows just recently got retouched from the microblading, so they're in a really weird stage right now. They're dry and flaky and they're kind of in between healing and just flakiness. So they look really weird right now. And I can't put makeup or anything on top of them right now. So I just kind of have to work around them a little bit. This is the tricky part, getting around your eyebrows when you can't touch them with makeup yet because I still can't get them wet or wash them. This is the tricky part. Okay, so I can kind of just get in around my eyebrows a little bit more with concealer. So I'm just gonna we'll end it there. All right, so let me look at this on my skin up close. It actually looks really nice. It's a little bit patchy on my nose where I have some dry patches right now. But it's not bad actually even on those dry patches. It actually looks really nice on my skin. It's definitely matte on my skin, but it looks really nice. Okay, so that is the foundation on my skin. So far, so good. I do really like the way it looks. I really like the way it looks. So now is the point where I would normally say I'm gonna go do my eyebrows, but we don't have to worry about that today. Yes. So I am just gonna go right into my eyes today. Let's put on my favorite little eye primer here. This is the Giorgio Armani Eye Tint. This is the number 24. It's just the perfect nude tone that just blends in with your eyes, or your eye color, or your skin color, I should say, and just kind of creates the perfect base for eyeshadows. All right, and I'm so excited to try this today. This is that Charlotte Tilbury, what is this called? The Instant Look in a Palette, 5-minute Face on the Go Beauty Glow Palette. How pretty does this look? I love this. You have 3 eye colors, you have your bronzer, you have 2 cheek blush colors that you can kind of combine or use separate, and then it comes with your face highlighter at the same time. So we're just gonna test out this whole thing and we're gonna do the little 5-minute face look here. It's not gonna take me 5 minutes, but really it actually kind of could if you were in a rush and you just wanted to grab this palette and go. But we are gonna use this today because oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. So let's start doing our eyes here. This first shade right here is called the Eye Brightener. This second shade is the Eye Enhance, and then this third matte shade is the Eye Smoke. So you can use all 3 of these together. They're beautiful. These first 2 shades here have a slight sheen to them, but it's not sparkly. It's really pretty. And then this really pretty deeper, darker brown matte shade is gorgeous. So I'm gonna start with the Eye Enhance, this number 2 shade right here. I'm gonna get some of this onto my blending brush, and I am just gonna work this right into the crease. You can see how this color, it has a slight, the slightest sheen to it, but it's not coming off sparkly or anything. It actually looks pretty much matte on my eyes. Then we're gonna take this number 1 shade. This is the Eye Brighten shade. This shade is gorgeous. This is gonna really, like it says, brighten up your eyes. This is perfect for your eyelid. So I'm just gonna pat this right onto my eyelid here. So moving on to this number 3 shade, let's take this eye smoke shade. This is the pretty matte shade. I'm gonna tap off any excess, and I am just going to apply this right to the outer corner. And then we'll blend it out just a little bit, give a little bit of depth on the outer V portion of the eye. And then taking another blending brush, we're just gonna blend that out. And this is such a pretty, pretty eye look. The color of these shadows are beautiful. Oh my gosh, like simply beautiful, like perfect everyday look. And they blend and are so nice, like super easy to use. I love that, like super gorgeous. Okay, so here's the point of my videos where I normally exit out and do my winged eyeliner, which I'm still gonna go do really quick, and I'll be right back. All right, back with the winged eyeliner on. It was not an easy eyeliner day. My Inglot gel eyeliner is drying out. I need to get a new one. Or I should get that stuff you dip in or pour in and it kind of softens it up again. I don't know why I don't have that, because all I ever use is the Inglot gel eyeliner, and mine's drying out. So it's so hard to get a like good line. Like mine looks like crap today. So let's just move on. I'm gonna use my pencil here, and I'm just going to tight line between my lashes here. All right, then we're gonna give our eyelashes a quick curl. And then I'm gonna use the MAC Hot and Naughty Lash Mascara. So I am totally hooked on this mascara. You guys have seen me use this in the past. I was trying to use up some of my backups of the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel, and I have a few other ones that I just have in my mascara drawer, and I cannot even bring myself to use them and finish them up because this mascara is so good. It makes my lashes honestly look so good, better than the Chanel now. I don't know what happened to the Chanel formula. It's not the same, but this honestly will take its place. It's so good. It actually has 2 formulas. This one comes out in like a more natural kind of wispy looking type of brush, but I go right for the bam, crazy false eyelash look, which comes in this side. Honestly, this mascara is so, so good. My eyelashes are so picky about what I put on them. They're like snobby little eyelashes, but this one they really seem to like. So now we're gonna move to the under eye. We're gonna do our concealer. I'm gonna take the Giorgio Armani Master Corrector. This is in the shade number 1. And I am just going to pat a little bit of this right into the dark areas, which are the corners of my eyes. And I'm just gonna use my finger and just dab that in. This stuff works so miraculously. I love, love, love this stuff just to brighten up that darkness. So amazing. And it's so lightweight too. It doesn't add any extra like product feeling to the under eyes. It just like really brightens up any of that annoying darkness. Just look at that. Like, look at how that just brightened up my under eyes, took away that darkness, and it's perfect. Like, I love that stuff. So we are gonna apply my concealer on top of that. I mean, you honestly could just brighten up your under eyes like this and be out the door and go, but I am gonna add a little bit of one of my all-time favorite concealers. We're gonna use the By Terry Terribly Denseless Concealer because I still love this concealer. It is one of the best concealers I have ever used. So perfect on more mature eyes. I've got my mom completely hooked on this stuff. And like I told you guys in previous videos, she has like such a fear of concealers, but she loves this concealer. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. We're gonna dab this onto the under eyes. And then I am gonna put a little bit up here, a little bit, not too much, because I'm gonna try to get around my eyebrows a little bit where I couldn't get to the foundation. So I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender first, and we're just gonna blend that concealer under the eye. And then using my concealer brush, I'm just gonna kind of blend this around my eyebrow a little bit. It's so hard not being able to get your eyebrows like wet for that 10 days. It's like the worst part. So I'm gonna use the RMS Beauty. This is the Undip Powder. I love, love, love this powder. I love this RMS Beauty brand. This brand is so good. So I am gonna use this powder today. They have a tinted version as well, which I actually have and I really like, but I really like just the normal untinted version the best. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of this powder onto my brush here, and I am going to set my under eyes. I did a whole video on how I set my under eyes to really keep your under eyes looking younger throughout the day instead of just miserable throughout the day. So all I do is I set my under eyes just in the areas that will tend to crease, which is for me along like the lash line underneath. I do not set with powder anymore at all, like anywhere else around my eyes, and I just feel like it keeps them looking so much better throughout the day. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into one of these eye shades. I think I'm gonna do the Eye Enhancer shade, this really pretty middle shade here with that little bit of slight sheen, the one that we used up in the crease. I'm gonna get a little bit of this onto that Chikuhodo brush that I used to smudge the under eye, and I am just going to smudge that along the lower lash line. And then finishing our eyes, I'm gonna take the MAC Extended Play Gigablack Lash Mascara, and we're gonna use this on the lower lashes. And it looks like this mascara is almost gone. I can tell it's just a little bit dried up, and I think it's just about gone. But I have like 5 backups of this mascara as well. This is like the only one I ever use on my lower lashes. So I have so many backups of this too. All right, so this palette does come with a bronzer shade here, but I just wanna see what it looks like because it looks like it might be a little bit light for me. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit light. I'll swatch it, I'll show you guys. For my skin tone right now, it's definitely gonna be a little bit light for me. So, have no fear. We are gonna use the RMS Beauty, the Buriti Bronzer that I've been raving about. This way I can show you guys what this looks like on my skin as well. I'm gonna take this bronzer and I'm just gonna get some onto my beauty blender. And normally I actually use my smaller beauty blender, the blush one, but I have this one in front of me. So I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna get a little bit of this onto the sponge here. And then I'm just gonna take this and dab this around my skin wherever I wanna bronze up. You guys will see how amazingly gorgeous this bronzer is. It is so perfect. I really think that when you put this on, it just looks like you were out on vacation. Like it just has that feeling. Like it looks like you just stepped off like an island and you got some sun, and it's just so natural and pretty. Look at that glow it gives too. It gives your skin the most beautiful, like natural, perfect amount of that radiance to it. Oh, it's so stunning. Okay, so I am gonna take a little bit of this bronzer that comes in this face palette because I'm just super curious. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of it, and it's so funny because it's like this tiny little side here and I'm using like this big brush, but it actually works pretty good. It does fit in there pretty good. So let's test it out. I just wanna put a little bit of it on top. I'll still be able to get like a good idea of kind of what it looks like. Huh, it's actually really pretty. Deeper color than what I would have thought. Oh my gosh, like the two of those together, holy moly, that looks so good. And that's what I like too. Sometimes it's really fun to layer on bronzer, just, you know, like a cream and then put like a powder on top. I don't know, sometimes it gives you like a really good effect. I like it. Insanely in love with both of those bronzers like put together like that. Like look at the combination of that. I literally look so tan and just islandy. So then we are gonna use the blushes that are in here, and I really like her concept of blushes. She gives you like a cheek swish and then a cheek pop. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to swish it into the swish and then pop it, and then that's kind of like what you're supposed to do like on the apples of your cheeks. So pretty much that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like the swish color first, which is like this really pretty kind of like rosy brown shade, which I am gonna love because it's like one of those like nudie colors. Oh, it's super pigmented too. So let me do both cheeks at once. That is gorgeous. I'm just gonna take a powder brush and just blend that in a little bit because that is really pigmented and such a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Look at that, like that color alone, oh my Lord, it is good. So then I'm gonna take the pop color, let me just kind of brush off that excess color, and then you're supposed to pop it, which is this really pretty pink, so we're gonna pop it right onto the apples of your cheeks. And that's kind of like the concept of her blushes. Like you want to give like a pop of color to the apples of your cheeks. And that is, wow. I am in love. And I know I keep saying that, but I can't help it. Gorgeous. Like I am not even kidding. That cheek combination in here is probably one of my all-time favorites now. Like it is so perfect on your cheeks. Like a perfect, oh my gosh, I just love it. I think that is gorgeous. The combination is just amazing. So I'm gonna stop rambling about how much I love this palette, and I'm gonna take my highlighting brush and we're gonna get a little bit of this highlighter shade. And I love her highlight shades always. The ones that she has in her duos, her like contour, what's it called? Like bronze and light palettes. The highlight shades are absolutely amazing. So I'm guessing this is gonna be honestly just as good. And just apply that. Yep, really good. Just kind of like similar to her other one. So pretty. But that's it right here. Like that combination on my cheeks right now is just amazing. Like I love this whole thing. I love the eye look. I love the cheeks. I love the highlight. This is gorgeous. All right, so we're gonna finish off this look with our lips. I'm gonna take the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. This is the Iconic Nude, one of my all-time favorites. I've been pulling this out recently again. Okay, and then we are gonna try out this new Smashbox. These are those liquid metals. This is a liquid lipstick that gives a really pretty like metallic shine to your lips. I haven't tried this color yet, so let's test it out. It's called Petal Metal, and it looks like a really pretty kind of like pinky peachy nude. And these metallic shades are so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. Do you see how it kind of goes on super metallic-y, but then it kind of settles down and it doesn't become too much for your lips. It just has like a really pretty kind of shine to it. That's why I love those. It's not too much. I just really like the concept and the way they look and the way they lay on your lips. They're super pretty, and this color is amazing. So here is the final look. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. This palette is everything, you guys. I would highly suggest checking this out. I love the eye look. I love the cheeks and the highlight and the whole thing. And really, I am loving this foundation at the same time. I think it's really going on my skin super nice. Now, what I'm gonna do, because this isn't kind of like a foundation review, I have a really busy day for the rest of the day, but I wanna update you guys on how this wears. So I will leave that down below in the description box, along with all the other info that I always leave you guys will be down there. But I will leave you guys a little message on how this wore throughout the day. So that way you guys can still know, like I love it now, but let's see how it wears throughout the day too. So I will let you guys know in the description box about that. Okay, so that is the final look for today. I love it, love it. I would 100% recommend all of the products that I just used today. I think they are amazing and I am super impressed. I love this little palette here. The Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a palette is perfect. I'm actually going to Hawaii in a few days and this is getting packed with me for sure. Like this is like the perfect thing to pack. You got gorgeous eyes, you got your face products, like all really pretty things that just go so well together. This is getting taken on that trip for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this look, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also don't forget to subscribe if you are new to my channel. And that wraps it up for today, guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, all right, it is like 7 o'clock at night now. I had 2 seconds to literally run in here, quick turn on the camera because I had to share with you just an update really quick on this makeup, on this foundation, because I keep looking in the mirror like throughout the entire day and I'm so impressed. Like I absolutely love this foundation. It is keeping my skin matte. Like I have not had to touch up at all. And my skin, I would say like right now, it gets definitely oily in the T-zone like a lot. With most foundations, I'm constantly having to touch up the T-zone and I haven't had to do that at all. But the thing that I love, because I usually do not like matte foundations, the thing that I love about this one is that it's keeping me matte, but my skin looks so natural. Like it's not one of those like suck in the moisture, like dry out your face type of foundations. Like I love it. And even like those tiny little dry patches that I had seen on my nose to start kind of like evened itself out once I guess my natural like oil production kind of kicked in a little bit. Like it's just held everything so beautifully. So I had to share that with you guys because my pores look good. Nothing is sinking into any lines or anything like that. And I love it. And then talk about like the cheeks and the bronzers from that Charlotte Tilbury palette. We did good today. So I had to share with you guys. I had to come in here, put on the camera real quick and just share with you guys a quick update because everything we used today, big thumbs up. Definitely would recommend it. Definitely check it out because I love it. I love it all. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much. I'm headed out to get some wine because it's been a long week and I will see you next time. Bye.